Hello my wonderful friends, welcome back. Have you done your masterboard? Now if you haven't done your masterboard, if you haven't even watched the video, don't worry, it's not too late. I will put a link to the masterboard challenge video down in the description box so you can pop along and do that. You don't even have to watch them in order, so if you haven't watched the masterboard video itself, you can still watch this one and then go back and watch the masterboard video. How many times can I say masterboard video in one sentence, I wonder? We could try a few more times if you like. Anyway, I'm in a crazy mood. I am cold. No frost this morning. Yay, no frost, but no sunshine. So it's not actually any warmer, really. It's just cold. But anyway, the heart is warm even if the hands are cold. So let's get into making something with our masterboard. I do have a plan in mind for some of it, and the rest I'm not sure yet. So you can make whatever you like. You do not have to make the same things I make, but if you want to do that, that's fine by me. I would be thrilled if you wanted to make the same as I make. So it is quite stiff, quite sturdy. It's quite thick with all those layers on. I neglected to grab out a page. Just hold 2 seconds, or 3 or 4. Okay, I just want to make sure I get the sizing right, so I'm going to, do I want to go 4.5? I think 4.5 is good for my size of journal page. You can make them bigger or smaller if you want to make the same piece of ephemera. This is not something I've kind of done before. I don't remember doing this before. This particular thing I'm going to make first. I haven't actually got a name for it yet, but we'll work that one out. And I also want to, it's actually the exact same height, but I don't want it the same height. I want it to be slightly shorter. So I'm going to just knock a little bit off the ends. And that's quite handy too, because the ends, you know, sometimes I've gone over, sometimes I haven't quite gone to the end of my backing sheet. So this will just tidy those up a little bit at the same time. Okay, so just a little bit of tidy up. It's funny, we've got just a couple of little pops of other papers coming in right on the edge in some places, which I think is quite fun. So I've cut it so that it's pretty close to filling the whole page, but not quite. I wanted a little bit of space because some of my journal pages can be a little bit shorter, and I wanted enough room because this is going to be a flip out. Okay, we're going to have it as a flip out as my, I'm just thinking, what side do I want to do it on? Maybe we'll just work on it in that side. So I'm going to round these corners so I know which side I'm working to. How's your week been? Has it been a good one? Mine has been crazy busy. I got a bit loopy yesterday afternoon because I was just so incredibly tired that I was recording a video and I was losing it a bit because getting a bit emotional just because I was so tired. But I'm feeling better this morning. I had not too bad a sleep, and it's early in the morning, like it's 9:30 in the morning, so I'm not flagging yet, which is a good thing. Okay, so that's going to flip out that way. It's already pre-backed, so if you haven't backed yours, you might want to back that before proceeding. And I have my leftover papers that I used to make the masterboard. So my masterboard, these floral papers are a set I bought. I didn't buy them actually, but they come from Anne Constantly Carding on Crafts U Print. So that link will be in the description box. And I have the leftover papers from making the masterboard. So the plain papers, apart from the pink, because I used the pink for something else. So all the pattern papers, and I've also got them in half size print where I printed 2 to a page. And I'm going to choose one out. Is that one? No, that one's not quite tall enough. It might be whether I've got one. It might be tall enough if I go that way. Doesn't quite go right to the top. Does it need to go right to the top? This one will. Okay, we'll go with this one. I want to measure just roughly. I just want to cut a strip that's going to act as a hinge. I want to cut it about there. Okay, and a strip. How wide a strip? Inch is probably too much. 3/4 of an inch. Let's go 3/4 of an inch to make our hinge width. You could go narrower. You could go wider. Just depends. I'm making this up as I go along, so there's no set kind of way to do it by any stretch. So that's going to hinge on that side. So now I'm going to fold this in half, which hopefully I can do it straight. It's very hard to fold a narrow bit of paper straight. It tends to warp. You end up fatter at one end and thinner at the other. It's one of the characters of paper that it does that. Okay, I'm going to miter these ends. So just making sure I cut it the right way. So towards the fold line is the point. I have been known to cut it the other way round, and so my hinge ends up a weird shape. It is true, I have done that. It is surprisingly easy to do it the wrong way round. Now these flowers go that way, so I need to make sure I glue them the right way up, I think, preferably. Okay, just checking that it's the right length. It's looking pretty good. So I'm going to get the dry glue off my glue nozzle first. So I've got food bank packing today. We haven't actually currently got any requests, which will be my first Thursday if we don't get any between now and this afternoon. It'll be my first Thursday without any food parcels to prepare on a Thursday. So that's fine. I've still got to receive the food and pop it away and, you know, deal with it. So that's all good. And we're trialling a new thing this afternoon with distributing food that we can't keep, you know, because it's too short dated or we've got too much of and we can't store it. So are you coming out? So looking forward to that. I hope it goes well, because I think it will be good. My problem is carrying the boxes with my shoulder. I shouldn't be carrying the boxes. So this morning I just popped over to see my neighbour and said, "What are you doing this afternoon?" And he was, yep, he's all teed up. He's happy to come along and lend a hand with lifting and carrying for me. So that is wonderful. Really, really happy that he's available and happy to do that. Right, now don't glue it right to the edge. You want it hanging over the edge ever so slightly. And when I say slightly, I mean very slightly. Right. Oops, I didn't get... Maybe that glue dried before I could glue it on. Maybe that's where it wasn't working. Oh, this end too. Gee, not good at getting the points glued today. Right, now it's on. So that's our pretty hinge. Isn't that pretty? Pretty, pretty. Do I want to actually glue it on the page wherever I've put the page? Over here, do I actually want to attach it? It goes up this way. So you know what I've done? I've put the flowers upside down now. Does it matter? Not really. I mean, it's only a short strip. It wouldn't actually matter too much. But I could just put it on the other side of the page instead, so that they're the right way up. I'm going to go ahead and attach it to the page because I don't know what journal this will go in. We'll just have a pre-made page ready to go. So that's all good. I hadn't intended on actually gluing it to a page. I do have more plans for this. This is not the sum total of this bit of ephemera. I want to jazz it up a little bit. We need to decorate it as well. You know, add some focal point, do something fun there. But construction wise, I do have other plans. So again, you don't want to glue it right on the edge. You want to just let that hinge hang out just a smidge. And this will allow it to open out flat rather than catch on the edge of your journal page. So we've got this pretty decorative strip here. On these types of pages here where it's got the date, I like to cover those over because likely they're not going to match the person's journaling time frame. Be very unusual if it did, so I do like to cover those up. I might not take care of that today. Right, just it's a little curly, so I'm just wanting to flatten it out a little bit. Bend it back the other way so it's nice and flat and not pulling against that wet glue, because if it pulls against the wet glue it's not going to stick down properly. I'll just grab a wee quick sip of my blackcurrant and apple. 9:30 and I've already had 2 coffees, so I thought time to bring out the blackcurrant and have a little break from the coffee. Okay, so we have a flip out here. Need to decorate it, of course. So I want to put a pocket on here, and I was thinking I would use the half-size prints. Now I think I'll go a different one to this here. Maybe that one would be nice. You don't have to use the same papers that you used in the collage in the Masterboard. It's just that I have them available. So I thought, why not? Why not use the same papers? But you could use totally different papers, scraps, whatever you like. I do like the coordinated look, I must say. So that's another reason why I'm going with them. Right, what sort of pocket do I want to do? That is the next question. I don't want to use a piece of the Masterboard for the pocket because this is already quite thick, and if I added the same stuff as a pocket, it would be really thick, and also it's backed for writing on, so why waste that writing side with something that's going to be hidden. Okay, so do I want I don't want to cover too much of the writing. Do I want a standard rectangle pocket? I think I kind of do, actually. I was thinking about maybe doing an angle pocket or something, but now I'm like, meh. I think a standard rectangle pocket would be just fine. Do I want to put gussets on it? This bit of paper is a little bit wide, so I could put gussets on it. Gussets don't need to be the same width, so I'm just randomly folding back to kind of fit my gap. So that's cool, and I'll put one at the bottom. Trim out these corners, miter in towards the point where the folds meet. One and 2. So it's going to give us some nice room in that pocket. And I also want to reinforce that top, so I'm going to fold the top down. And again, miter those corners. It takes some of the bulk out and makes them fold up more cleanly. Now I say this every time I do this, but you know, you never know when there's a new person who's never seen it done before comes along. So this top one, I'm just going to glue that flap down. I don't think I'll do a little thumb notch in this one. I'm just, I don't know, not feeling it today. Not on this. I reserve the right to change my mind. Now, one thing I should have done is actually ink around this. I think I'll still be able to do it okay now, after having glued it on. But I am going to ink around this before I glue it on, because once this is on, it's going to be pretty difficult to do it after the fact. Such pretty patterns, these floral pages. So these papers were part of my time as a design team member for a Perfect Time to Craft challenge on Facebook, and I'm no longer a member of that team, but I wanted to use these papers, and Anne, who designed these papers, she runs that design team. So yeah, I just really wanted to finish up really with a really good project. And most of the projects, or all of the projects I did for that design team, they weren't on YouTube, and I thought it would be really nice to end on one that's on YouTube. So hopefully Anne likes what I'm doing with her papers. It was really great to be part of that design team. I was on it for probably a year and a half, give or take. I'm not exactly sure, but you know, reasonable time. But just got so busy I had to pull out of it. Sadly, I will miss it. But sometimes you've got to let things go for other things, and other things for me at the moment is the food bank. It's taking a lot of time, but it's good time spent too. Like, it's very valuable time. That's not all about me, it's all about other people, and I think that's necessary to, you know, have something that's outside of yourself that you do for others where you can. Like, not all of us can, and there's certainly a vast period of time where I couldn't. So now that I'm back on my feet, and yeah, I've got a shoulder injury, but we can work around that. It's really good to get into something and sink my teeth into it. Okay, so we've got a really nice pocket there. Okay, so let's do a bit of decorating. I kind of need to distress this side just so I can see how it's all going to come together. The other side it's not so important to do on camera, so I will wait until we're off camera to do the other side. Yeah, so it's a little bit more awkward now that it's glued on, but doable. I didn't even give it a thought. I just got stuck in because I kind of wanted to get this idea out of my head and into reality. Right, and just a little along this edge as well. And that's going to help hide any bits where the hinge is showing, the white side of the hinge. Right, there we go. Okay, what do I want to decorate this with? It's a really lovely, vibrant, beautiful goings on there. So I'm thinking let's pair it back with a little bit of neutral. You know, often my go-to is a bit of book page, isn't it? Well, there's a good reason for that. Now I'm tearing this and thinking, do I actually want vertical? I think I might want horizontal. So let's grab something else out. I'm so used to doing vertical on the book page. But in this case, I actually want to go this way, because this is vertical, and you can orient this masterboard whichever way you want. You can have it going this way or this way, you know, and it will vary according to the ephemera you're making. Oh, now I've got another idea. Why not? Let's do it. Let's do my other idea. Okay, totally creating on the fly. That's what we're doing today. So I thought, why not make a belly band, a little sideways belly band? Yes, why not? I'm going to do it. So I'm going to use a few layers, I think, to make the belly band nice and sturdy. We don't have any yellow in this part of the masterboard. Shall we add a bit of yellow, or do we want to stick with one of the other colours? I like the yellow because it makes it stand out. So I'm going to go with it. What was the masterboard? 4, and I probably don't need to mark out. I just need to 4.5. Just cut it at 4.5. Don't need to overthink it. Right, so 4.5, or maybe just a smidge under, just because. So I want straight edges on this side, and then I want the torn, oh that's right, it was lined paper. Well, we could actually use the lined side. That would be something a little different too. Yeah, why not use the line side? Just because we can. So I want to tear about there. Okay. So glue this on first, I think, the book page. So we might only get this one piece done because I keep thinking of things I can do with it and adding to it. Which is fine. I'm just going to let my brain go that way because, you know, that inspiration, when it hits, it's really good to run with it. Oops, my apologies, guys. I forgot to turn my alarm off before I set the video. That's my time to take my calcium supplement. But that's the minimum time when I can take it, so it won't matter if I wait till after the video, as long as I remember to actually have it. Big hulking pill that it is. Ugh, so hard to get down my throat sometimes. Sometimes it tries to go sideways, and that's not very nice when it tries to go sideways. I'm glad I made that slightly narrower because it actually goes side to side. Let me show you my calcium. They're horse pills. They're just like, that is my calcium, and I've got to take 3 of those a day. After breakfast, after lunch, and after dinner. I used to have really yummy ones that I could chew, and they were like lollies, but they're so expensive I couldn't justify keeping those up, specifically when they actually went up in price as well. So now I take those horrible hulking pills that sometimes like to go down sideways, and that's very, very uncomfortable. If you've ever taken anything that big, it's just ugh. Right, belly band. So we need to decorate that up with something. Oh, cold hands. Oh no, not what I need in there. Hang on. Let's have a look in this wee container here. See if there's something we might want to use. We do have our little fabric clusters, but I don't want to bulk it too much because this is a writing side. So maybe something a bit flatter. No, too many colours and things going on. Floral, which would actually work because we do have flowers, but again it's introducing that green, and we don't have a lot of green going on. We die cut. That's someone sent to me in Happy Mail. Just working out which side's the right side. It's actually kind of nice, but it would need something inside it. There's a circular book page. No. No, it doesn't really work either. Okay, the hunt continues. Got die cut. No. Little bow. No. It has got sort of purple tones in there, but I don't know why I'm picking out those sorts of things, because they're not the right sort of thing that I'm actually after. But I'm just coming across them and it's like, let's try that, let's try that. Something about that is kind of nice. Brings in that white background a little bit. Another stamp. No. I want to use this blue piece because I think that works well, but it not by itself. It needs something. Stamp label too big. Okay, I'm failing here. I'm failing. No. And again, that green doesn't work. Okay, we're still hunting. Have some fussy cuts here, and the seller no longer sells, so they're not available anymore. I can't even remember the name of the person. They were having a sellout of their shop when they were going to close down, so nothing to link. I'm sure these types of things, there's plenty of them from other shops. Maybe that's that's throwing me. Maybe I just need to go without. Oh, what about the birdie? What about if we added a pop of this behind? Is that going to make the birdie blend in too much? I need to snip it off and kind of get a better view. Okay, I like that. We're going to do that. Oops, knocking things over here. I'm just going to clear this container out of my way. Glue stick. So for this masterboard, I was thinking I could just do journal cards, and that is great. Like, who doesn't need a journal card, or, you know, a stash of journal cards ready to go? But it was like, oh, I'd really like to do something a bit different, a bit unique. And then I've been really into the tip-ins and the flips over the last week. You might have noticed in my videos, and I just couldn't get past that, and I was like, I really want to do one with this masterboard. So here we are. That's the journey to what I'm creating here. And then it's, as I go, I'm just other ideas. It's like, oh, what about if we did this, if we put a belly band, if we put a pocket, you know. I love that creative process where things just spark in your brain. So obviously my brain is working adequately this morning. It was not working adequately last night, I must say. And in fact, everything was tired. My eyes were tired. I was trying to like just chill out and play a game on my tablet, and my eyes were getting sorer and they were tired, and sometimes I just sat there with my eyes closed, not doing anything, not looking at the telly, not looking at my game, because I was a write-off last night. I was quite the write-off. So yes, that happens, and it's all good. Sleep, good sleep, and we're ready to rock the next day. About there, and he fits nicely in the space of that belly band. Oh, I like him. And maybe a little word or a label down here. I'm thinking word. You're too big. Brave. There's a brave bird. Let's try that. Just give it a little trim up. Maybe a little bit off there. Just being really pedantic now about, oh, that's not quite even. Just take a little hair off there, a little. I like that. So it's going to be a brave little blue bird. I don't know if it's a blue bird, but it's a blue bird. We don't have bluebirds here in New Zealand. So I couldn't tell you exactly what they look like. I'm sure I've seen pictures and stuff, but never really taken too much notice because I've never actually seen one in real life. And then don't anyone tell me that we do have bluebirds, because as far as I know, we don't. I'm going to stick by my story. Okay, so now I actually have 2 pieces of ephemera I need to make. One for the belly band. So belly band, nice tag would work really well in there. I wouldn't use the same masterboard for that because it's just going to become too much. I'm more likely to go a solid, like a solid colour. I could use one of the colours that are in the masterboard, or a neutral. And same, oh, this pocket, maybe I could use the masterboard. But again, bulk is a consideration. I would probably do something else. Let's just pop my words away. Do we want a word on the pocket, actually, before I do that? Do a vertical word. Do kind. Shades of Gail Agostinelli with the kind. Totally my inspiration for stamping out the word kind, I must admit. I haven't seen her use her kind stamp actually lately. Interesting. Maybe she just had enough that are already stamped, so she's not actually needing to stamp it out on camera. I suspect that is the case. It's a little sort of, it's got a slight curve in the stamping there, but that's okay. Hand stamped, individually stamped letters. Now, do I want to add a little bit of colour behind it? Maybe. Or do I just want to go to a neutral book page, you know? The good old book page. I've certainly got plenty of them. I may as well use them. Or do we want, like, got the scrap of blue from the other bit. I like that. I'm going to put that down. Fun. Okay, I think I'll use, because this is coffee dyed and it's a bit wrinkly, I'm going to use tacky glue on it. When the glue comes out, got just a little dry bit clogging there. That's better. Glue that works makes a happy glue user. Nothing worse than fighting with your glue bottle. Well, there are things worse. There are definitely things that are worse than that. But, you know, they're frustrating, aren't they? When your glue bottle gets clogged or it won't work or it just won't come out and you can't find out why. It's just frustrating. Okay, and again we need something. Can we find another little birdie that we might want to use? This is kind of turning into a themey kind of thing, but that's okay. He tones in beautifully with those oranges, but a little bit too beautifully in that he blends. So that's not the same bird as the other one, is it? No, it's definitely different. So we have brave bird and kind bird. Kind of reminds me of like the Care Bears or something where they've got names. What else has names that signify the personality? Smurfs. Smurfs kind of go along that line, don't they? There's something, some cartoon or some characters or something that do have names. And it's not the Seven Dwarfs that I'm thinking of, but along those lines where their name is their personality or their something or other. It's not one I've mentioned so far, and I'm struggling to pull it out of my brain, what it is that's teasing me. Throw down in comments anything you can think of that has, where the names of the characters signify their personality. And I wonder if somebody will hit upon the one that I'm thinking of and can't bring to voice or to memory. Blends a little bit with the background, but that's okay, not nearly so much as the one with the orange head. It was a beautiful bird. I would have loved to have used this pretty bird, but just too blending, too blending. Okay, so we have pocket, we have a flip out writing space, and we have a belly band for more writing space. And then we've retained all the writing space on the inside there. Now, today's about working with the Masterboard, so I'm not going to fill those two areas today because it's my birthday. Because we want to move on with the Masterboard. We have time, so that's good news. So from here, I'm sorry. That was a big clang. I do apologize. You're probably all very awake right now. In case my dulcet tones lulled you into sleep. I don't think anybody would ever sleep through my video. I don't think I've got that dulcet tones that anybody would sleep to. Anyway, I'm just totally going off track. I'm just going to tidy up this edge because again I can see a little bit of the Masterboard base peeping through. So So just a little tidy up there. The other side, yes, there's a little bit peeping through the other side, so we might as well take care of that as well. It's also going to straighten up my masterboard in case it was slightly wonky, which is altogether possible that it was. Right, now, no plan on what I was going to make with this remainder of the masterboard. Do we want to make a tag? I think we can do a tag. Let's go 3 3/4 inches just because that's what I'm choosing, no real reason. And then this part, what have we got? Got almost 7 1/4 inches by 5 1/4. So 7 1/4, so 3 1/2 would be 7. Let's just go one at 3 1/2, and then the other one will just be slightly bigger. Okay. So we have 2 journal cards and we have a tag. So let's cut this into a tag shape, which it's got a tiny little snippet up here of the pattern. I'm just looking at direction of the pattern. I think, yes, I will make this into the top of the tag, and it will take that little snippet. It just looks a little bit random and accidental rather than deliberate. I didn't mind it on the flip out or the tip in, depending what you want to call it, but it just bugged me on that edge there, but that's all good. So that's a tag. And the journal cards, don't know why I want to round the corners on them, so let's do that up front. I do enjoy the fact that I've already backed these with writing paper, so I don't need to worry about that. I can just go ahead and make my journal cards and they're done. So that's fantastic. I'm thinking maybe, oh, didn't punch that one all the way through. Maybe I should do that more in future, is back them first. Although then you kind of don't want to use them for pockets because they're backed. So there is that, you know, you kind of can sometimes hamper what you want to do with it when you go to use it, because it's like, oh, I can't use it for a pocket. It's going to waste all that work on the back and all that writing paper that I put on. Do I want to put rounded corners on the tag? Why not? Since we're rounding corners here, let's go ahead and do the tag. There we go. So 4 bits of ephemera out of this masterboard. A few little hairy bits that didn't punch properly. Oops, don't cut into the card itself. I think it's that backing paper. Some of it was like packing paper or paper bag, and it's thin, and it didn't seem to like that. I should have probably punched it upside down, so it was going through the thin paper first. I think it would have worked better, but never mind, we're done. We are done. So I definitely want to add some neutral to these. So this bit that I tore vertically because I wasn't thinking about what I was doing. This is quite thick paper too, so it will make nice stamping strips, and it's a real creamy. I think I'm just going to put that straight down the middle, and I love that this is sideways and that this is vertical. I think I do want to ink around this, and I will ink all around these pieces, but I'll again do it off camera, save that time. I have no idea what I'm going to decorate these up with. Maybe I'll dip back into that container of fussy cuts, because because I tend to forget about them quite often because I'm doing design team projects, so I need to be using bits from those design teams. So it's good to use all those. I spent a lot of time cutting those bits out. There was 4 little mini kits that I bought, birds, owls, mushrooms and books, and spent a lot of time. There was only like 2 pages per kit, but I printed them in different sizes, so probably 8 pages. A lot of time cutting everything out, so it's good to actually use these things that I spent time on. Right, it's just going to go right down, just trying to make the text straight, because the paper kind of is torn in a direction, which if I put it in the direction of the paper, then the text would be crooked. Right, that one. Shall we try doing a sort of a, dare I say it, mass make type approach? I might actually tear that with the ruler, because it's a lovely big wide border there. That would make great for bigger stamps. Look, isn't that great? Awesome for stamping. And the bottom here as well is a good area for stamping. Want it that side? No, I think I like it this side. There's a bit more interest with these shapes here. So I'm going to put that there. Again, I'll ink it up. Of course, I can't mass make truly, because if I was, I'd do all the inking together and stuff, but I'll just do me, my friends. I'll do me. And this bit here, quite like all those suits and numbers there. That's quite fun. Is that the right way up? Yeah, I think it is. What do I want to put up? No, I think I like it over this side. So using kind of the same formula for the 3 pieces, which will hopefully enable me to get them all done. Maybe I'm training myself in mini steps at getting towards mass make. Right, let's glue these on. Yes, I'm really hopeful that the new procedures we're putting in place for distributing food this afternoon, I really hope it works well. It's the first time, so the potential is that it doesn't, and that would be a real shame if it doesn't work, and understandable if it doesn't, because it's the first time and people need to kind of adjust to it and time to organize themselves. I've let people know first thing this morning, so hopefully they can get organized to come in and get some leftover food, but we shall see. I'm kind of thinking that it's not going to go as well as what I would hope, but first time you've got to have kind of just bring your expectation down a little bit, and if it goes well, fantastic. If it doesn't, well, there are reasons why it didn't go, but doesn't mean that it's not going to work. It just means we might need to just give it a bit of time for people to get in the zone, shall we say. Right, don't need to use all birds. We could try something else. I'm just having a oh, we've got no red here, but he is rather fantastic, that birdie. It's a bit of green. I'm not sure that I want the greens. Oh, that's nice. It's got candle, couple of books, and the ink well with the quill pen. That's quite nice. the green's not working for me. Green just does not. There's a stack of books with a cup on, maybe a little small. That's even smaller. I'm not sure if I want the red, because there is a little bit of red, but not a huge amount. No, bird's head gets lost in that one. What about this one over here? Oh, he's quite nice on that actually, but height-wise, I think he also works better there. Let's keep looking. I think I'm okay with that one, so I'll put it out of my way while we fossick. Oh, there's a lovely owl and a... It's not really full colours, and this has got more of those full colours in it. I know I'm being very, very picky here, aren't I? That one's not too bad. A lot of these are way too small for the size that I'm working with, so just kind of... Oh, look, isn't he fantastic? Actually, I wonder about him with books. There's a small stack of books. You know, owls are a symbol of wisdom, aren't they? And often associated with books. Can we make them work together? To bring it closer in front of me. There's this owl too. We could stand him on a stack of books. He's a big owl to the size of the books, but that's okay. The books might be miniature books, or he might just be a giant owl. I like that, but we're very one-sided. There's nothing going on over here, whereas this one kind of bridges the gap. Excuse me. Or the books could be in the distance. Just bear with me while I fuss with how I want things to be or what I want to use. Do we need something else in behind is what I'm wondering. Sorry, that frogginess, I don't know what that's about. Or do I like this one? Could like put him there like he's framed. You're framed. You are guilty of reading. I do like that. I think it works better than the other owl, much as I like the other owl. So I'm going to work with this one. Just because I need to work it out. So I'm going to abandon the other two for the moment and work on this one. Just giving it a light little ink around just to catch where I've left some white behind and sort of bring them out a little bit. Same with the books. And also makes them match that book page with the ink. So, refresh my glue page. So, have not yet worked out what I'm going to do on this side. We will get there. Okay, and our beautiful owl. Just eyeballing to see that he's kind of upright. There we go. So that I'm happy with that. It's this part that needs some work now. I said I was going to do it off camera, but I think I need to ink around it just to help me visualize a bit better for this particular card. I've kind of worked myself into an issue of what to do. And that happens quite regularly, I find. It's like, yeah, I really like that, but it's left me with this portion that I don't know what to do with. And I just find it's a process of working through that, trying different options, seeing what looks good. And if you can't work it out, pop it aside for a little bit. Just put it aside and come back to it when you've got fresh eyes, maybe a new supply or something, and you think, oh, I know that would work for this one that I'm struggling with. You don't have to complete everything right then and there. You can put it aside and come back to it when you can see a little bit clearer. No, don't want a mushroom. Let's go to labels and see if there's something that might kind of work. Don't know that I like it being, you know, pretty much the same size as the focal point. It's a little bee. No. I'm going neutral as well so far. It's a little bit of music label. These ones I'm trying at the moment all from Shabbycottagestudio. I think that's where they're from. Yes, Shabbycottagestudio on Etsy. Oh, actually, down there. Maybe I'll try a slightly bigger one. Or how about a different shape? Just to, that one's about the same size, just different shape. Triple extract white rose. That's actually quite nice. Or tooth powder. These are from Printables by MartiJo on Etsy. That one, I think, it's the sizing. The sizing that's got me going, yep, that looks better. And the colour kind of matches that, which isn't a huge consideration, but I'm liking that look, so I'm going with it. There's also the option of stamping or stenciling, you know, if you've got a problem area but you don't want to go in with something glued on top. You don't want to compete with your focal image. And I could have gone down that track as well. Right, there's always ways you can tackle these things and fix areas that you're not completely happy with. Pearl Gloss Tooth Powder. I think I liked the text of the white rose better, but this one's fine. It's not designed to make sense or to mean anything. It just looks cool. I'm happy with that one. It's done. Okay, how are we going time? Yeah, we're still okay. This one, let's ink around the image. So I'll try and link everyone I've mentioned in the description box, but I haven't written them down anywhere as I've gone along. So if I forget somebody and you would like to know what something was, just hit me up in the comments, because I do like to attribute things to everybody, but sometimes they just slip my mind that I've used a certain supply from somebody, because I just can't retain all the information in my tired brain. Particularly, you know, when I come to edit a video, it can be several hours after recording, so it can be hard to remember, oh, now what, who do I need to mention, who do I need to link, what do I need to link. Okay, do I want anything else? It's very pale image is what I'm looking at. I think it's fine. There's a lot going on in the background with that beautiful pattern paper. So I think the calmness of the image itself, both in colour and what's the word I'm looking for? Saturation of colour. Just contrasts against that busyness quite prettily. I like the way we're getting the yellow peep through in patches. And I think here would be a great place for a word. I keep taking sips of my drink, trying to get that frogginess to go away. Moments. Lovely. Not quite. I want something that kind of makes sense with this image here. Cozy vibes. It's not the right direction. That would have been quite cute though. Hello beautiful. Could work. Love warms every nest. That's not too bad. It's not kind of the vibe I was looking for. Fly. Well, no, that's not happiness. That could work actually, happiness, because this scene of the pen and the ink and the books and the candle just speak to me of something very peaceful, very calm. Is it too big? That's the other thing. I could take a smidge off. It might be too big. See what we can do here. I could shape around it. Let's do it. It's only stamped, so if I ruin it, I can restamp it at some point, and for this card we'll just find something else instead. But sometimes this doesn't look any good when you cut out a word, and sometimes it does look good. I think it depends on how you're using it, whether it looks good or not, whether it suits where you want to put it. Round the wee dot on the eye. A couple of little points there I want to round off. I think that works well. It kind of dips in down here where the candle is a bit lower than the book. I think it actually works. So we didn't waste that time. Or this piece of stamped coffee dyed paper. Oh dear, excuse me. Don't say I'm starting to flag. It's only 10:30. Got lots to do today. I think down a bit lower, down about there. And once it's linked around to the outside too, that'll make a difference. So that's that one done, and I'll check the time, see whether we have time to do the tag as well. Where's my card? Where have I put my card? Oh, there it is. I tucked it in a different place to where I keep it. Okay, that's number 2. So time. Oh my gosh, we've gone over time. I do apologize, friends. I thought we still had time, but we don't. Okay, so quick review. We've got our tags still to work on. There's this journal card. There's this one. And then we've got our flip out here with belly band and pocket and writing space. So thanks for joining me today. I do apologize once again for going over time. I just lost all track. Maybe I was just having fun. We'll say it's that. Thanks for joining me. Have a great weekend coming up, and I'll see you again for Marguerite Miller tomorrow, and then the Deal It Up Challenge on Monday. Bye for now.